So my conversation with Shaun Savage, the CEO of GoShare, one of the core themes that we discussed was about trust, both in terms of building trust with your customers in the marketplace, as well as building trust with investors. And what we didn't talk to, but is obviously included in here as well, is building trust in your team with your employees. And this is an area that I focus on a lot in my coaching practice because it is the only way that we can scale. Because in the absence of trust, we have micromanagement, and micromanagement does not scale. So an organization with a high level of trust also has a high level of autonomy, and autonomy creates scalability because you can have individuals and teams all working independently from one another without a high degree of bureaucracy and management overhead. So in my coaching practice, I'm always focusing on how do we create and drive a culture of trust. So we talked about in the episode first about developing trust with your customers. And the first thing obviously is provide a good service. But the real key that Shaun brought up is around customer service and making sure that any problem that comes up that you go above and beyond to make it right. And this is what creates not only trust, but also loyalty in the marketplace so that they know that, hey, you know what? Everyone makes mistakes, but when there are mistakes, you're good for it. And then as well with investors, additionally, it is, well, trust is, that you're credible, that you have experience, that you're transparent with them and so on, so that they can entrust you with their money. And the same thing goes for people on your team, right? That when you have trust, as I said before, you can delegate and you can give people autonomy, but you also have psychological safety where people can feel free to speak their mind and speak openly and share their opinions without fear of retribution. And all of this creates efficiency and scalability. So there's actually a book that I recommend to all my clients by Stephen Covey called The Speed of Trust. And he actually has another one he released recently called Trust and Inspire. But he basically broke down trust into some key behaviors that create speed and efficiency in an organization. And I'm just going to read them here from the table of contents. Talk straight, demonstrate respect, create transparency, right wrongs, show loyalty, deliver results, get better, confront reality, clarify expectations, practice accountability, listen first, keep commitments, and extend trust. So each one of these 13 behaviors all contribute to or take away from trust within any individual, right? Between you and your customers, you and your investors, and within your team. And so get the book, look through those behaviors, and then assess and scorecard, how well are we perceived? How well how much have we demonstrated and created trust in these three arenas? And you'll probably find that companies that do really, really well score high on these, and where you may score low, that may be something that's holding you back. All right. So again, I look at this as a key system for leadership and a key way to create a scalable business.